Good afternoon and welcome to our webinar today. Thank you for joining us. My name is Anna Balázs and I'm the host of the session today. Some important technical information before we get started. All audience lines are muted to ensure the quality audio. We will record this webinar and post it online on YouTube and on our webinar registration page for later viewing. We answer questions at the end of the presentation. To submit a question, please enter it into the Q&A field in the WebEx platform. You can send your question at any time during the presentation. Our presenter today will be Florin Bucur, Application Design Manager for Bosch Building Technologies, and he will talk about the Bosch Addressable Fire Alarm Systems portfolio. And now I turn over to Florin to begin his presentation. Florin, the floor is yours. We cannot hear you.
I hope now you can hear me.
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay.
Thanks.
Thank you, Anna, for your warm welcome. Also, welcome from my side to the audience. My name is Florin Bucur. I am Application Design Manager in Bosch Fire Business Unit in the central team in Munich, and I'm going to introduce you today in our portfolio for fire alarm systems. So let's go quickly throughout the content, what we're going to discuss today. First of all, I would like to mention that this is an introduction in our portfolio, a presentation for introducing you in our portfolio. Maybe some of you which are, let's say, more familiar with our products. It's for some of you will be not, let's say, such new things related to products, but still what we tried here is to translate our main features and into key benefits for the stakeholders in our business. So basically, even if you're more experienced with our fire alarm systems, you can still use this let's say, as a template for door opener presentation for your customers. So with that, let's move to the content. I will start with some basic considerations. Like I said a bit earlier, with benefits for the stakeholders and an overview of our systems, moving on to our fire alarm panels, our fire detectors, notification devices, and finally, to close the portfolio, about some enhancements, like product enhancement, like our video-based fire detection, cameras, integration with voice evacuation, and of course, services like remote services and our safety system designer. Finally, I will close with some of references, and we will see with some interesting applications that we can present to you. So let's start with some basic considerations. What do you have to consider when you choose a fire alarm system? Of course, first and most important is reliability. Reliability, because we are talking about a safety system, so we aim to save lives and assets. So you need a reliable system. And of course, you will need to have as few false alarms as possible, as few business interruptions as possible, because every business interruption and any unnecessary evacuation will generate costs. You need the fastest detection possible, of course, because in detecting fire, time is of an essence. You also have to consider extensions over time and replacement for your system, because technology advances, of course, and you have to take that in considerations. And depending on what's your role in this, let's say in the fire projects, you also have to consider the planning services, maintaining services, and so on. So why would you choose a fire alarm system from Bosch? First of all, because we started analyzing these needs and we developed our systems with these needs in mind. So basically we can benefit of the reliability of our system, a very fast and accurate detection. You can, of course, benefit of the flexibility and scalability for our system for your current and future needs. And you have on top additional services and products to improve your operations and your user experience, and of course, reduce your costs. So Let's see how these three aspects are translated. Basically, we'll speak about the detection and the fast detection and accurate detection we offer with a minimal false alarm rate, and that we are doing using latest technology in our smart sensors and of course in products like AIoT, like video detection, fire alarm systems. We offer artificial intelligence algorithm to detect as fast as possible and as accurate as possible the fires. How does this translate into benefits? Of course, well, speaking of safety system, we're protecting lives and assets, um, and we ensure the business continuity. Moreover, let's talk a bit about the flexibility of the system. We have fully modular fire alarm system, so that basically gives you the freedom to choose the components and to basically add exactly what you need. You don't have to worry about the compatibility with the existing products you have and with the future developments, because all of our components are developed with this idea of backward compatibility in mind. And of course, um, our quality is well renowned, and you benefit of our experience and R&D in industry. Um, Basically, you have to be assured that all our products are tested by VDS and relevant, let's say, labs, but of course in our own labs as well. How does translate this into benefits? Of course, you are getting the maximum of your investment and you profit of the latest technologies. Moving on to how you can expand your system. Of course, you have uh, different options uh, to add value to your system. Speaking about planners and integrators that are doing planning services, you can benefit of our free planning tool that it's helping you to write tenders, to build your system specifications, to ensure that your system is valid technologically. You can benefit from trainings and technical support as partner with Bosch, and of course, you can access your systems via remote services, our collection of remote services. Yeah. This will improve, of course, your efficiency and save costs in the operation of the system, but also in the other stages like planning and maintaining your system. So we have, let's say, an overview here of the innovations that we bring in the market to fulfill those needs and to, let's say, augment these benefits that we just presented. So just as a, let's say, few examples, we have interruptible alarm notifications, we have AI-based algorithms, like we said, for fire detection. We have AIoT-enabled systems enhancing the services. Basically, that means you can benefit from the AI algorithms that we use in our remote services, in in the technology that stands behind our Bosch portal for services. You have smart integration of designing tools and planning tools. Basically, you have our safety system designer that can give you, let's say, can be your assistant throughout all stages of your project. You can even nowadays import data into this planning tool and make sure you have a very fast development of your project. We are working now of integrating, for example, um, means of implement or importing AutoCAD data directly into our tool. So basically you can go up and import your floor plans or diagrams and just build the bill of materials for your system. You can benefit from the invisible fire detectors that are very, say, architecture friendly. I'll be talking about this in a minute. Um, and of course, the condition monitoring and data mining that we are doing through our Bosch portal that can assure you we have all this needed for this artificial intelligence that will make the predictive maintenance of your system. So that's, let's say, as a glance. Let's move now to the system overview. And this is, let's say, the most technical slide that you're going to see, because this is not a technical presentation. We have our core of the fire alarm system, the panel. We have addressable peripherals like point detector, aspiration point detectors, aspiration smoke detectors, sorry, invisible detectors, wireless conventional lines, notification appliances, of course, call points, fire brigade panels, and a series of interfaces for integrating everything else that is needed in our system. You can, of course, connect conventional elements like detectors and notification appliances directly to the panel. You can integrate a series of services like connect to a fire brigade or a monitoring station. You can connect to a management system, maybe a visualization software, or let's say up to a building management system. You can connect, of course, to our remote service portal, and you can add, of course, additional remote keypads for operating the system. So this is just a glance of our system, what you can do. Of course, it's not limited to what it's here, but it's just, as we said, just an overview. So let's talk a bit about the fire alarm panels and what we can find in our portfolio for panels. Basically, you have the option of two panels with two variants each. So we're talking about Avenir 2000. It's a standalone kit, but can also work as a network panel. And it's fitted for standard applications, small size applications. Of course, there's also the basic tier of the projects, but we're not talking about the conventional portfolio in this session, just about the addressable portfolio. Moving on, Avenir 2000 can work with 1 up to 4 loops, and each loop can contain 250 elements. So it can function in a standalone mode or even a network mode. And moving to intermediate size project mid applications, then you can network Avenir 2000 together with Avenir 8000, which is our full modular panel, and develop a network to fulfill the needs of such a project. And up to the complex size, where normally the Avenir 8000, the fully modular panel, it's you can find it in networks of up to 32 panels, and of course we can integrate those networks in an BIS system, in a building integration system. Yeah. So that's just an overview that we can attack all type of application sizes. And moving on, let's see some highlights about our Avenir panels. Like we said earlier, we have two members in the family, Avenir 8000 with up to 32 loops, and Avenir 2000 with up to 4 loops. Both of them can be networked, yeah, all of our loops can accommodate up to 250 devices. And especially Avenir 8000 is a fully modular system. That means you can extend it with up to 46 functional modules. 32 can be loop modules after that, and you can have a really cost-effective extension because you only have to acquire what you need for this project. Yeah. It benefits of a really state-of-the-art display, color displays of an each with touchscreen, and of course a really fast processing unit. It's a panel that was launched in 2020 when we celebrated, let's say, 100 years of activity in the fire business. Moving on, let's see a bit of what can a panel contain as components. So we have the panel controller that always comes with a display. We have panel modules be loop interfaces, could be input-output interfaces, communication interfaces, and so on, depending on your needs. You have a series of enclosures and you have frames for installing these enclosures. You can only add what you need. Like I said a bit earlier, you don't need to have a lot of space that you don't use. Then we have the remote keypads. Those can function in a network with the panels together. So it's a network product and can be also used as a redundancy for a panel controller. So basically, if you extend the system and you happen to go past the 512 detector limit and you need a redundant controller, all you need is to add another keypad near your panel and you have a fully redundant system. And finally, we have power supplies, of course, and accessories for our panels. Moving on, let's speak a bit about the fire detection, and we start with the Avenar 4000 range of detectors. It's a state-of-the-art detector with single smoke sensor, double or multi-sensor version for this detector. It has three ways of eliminating the false alarms in your premises. So first of all, we have the dual rate technology. That means for the optical chamber, you will get two LEDs and with two different light wavelength that will ensure it can not only react faster, but also can eliminate the, let's say, unwanted particles that can generate false alarms like steam, dust, or even cigarette smoke. Yeah? Second method is through ISP, through intelligent signal processing, and this is basically we have algorithms inside the detectors that, depending on the sensor values, that can take on spot the decision if this is a real fire or not. And finally, and one of the, let's say, most unique features of our detectors is the electromagnetic influence measurement. Basically, every detector can measure the intensity of the EM fields in the position when installed, and you can see if that could be a problem, or not necessarily when it was installed, but also during the lifetime of your project. For example, there's a new element inside the building that will generate a strong EM field and that will generate false alarm. You can see that through the values measured by the detector. And all this data can go through to our cloud for this condition monitoring, that it's really extensive data analysis and it analyzes the sensor data that we receive over time, and through very intelligent algorithms can make your, let's say, life easier through predictive maintenance. And also to mention here, a very interesting fact, all of our peripherals for the LSN loop can be addressed automatically or manually, or both mixed in the same, let's say, in the same project. Moving on, let's speak about the second range of detectors we have, the 520 series. This is what we call the invisible detector. It's a detector that's embedded in the ceiling and it has no elements, let's say, below the ceiling. It's an optical detector, but can be also combined with a chemical gas sensor, and it has a virtual chamber. So basically no physical elements, but all the measurements are done, let's say, below the sensor, but with no physical elements. That means it's very let's say very discrete. It can fit with any architectural designs, and one other main advantage is that's really easy to clean. Basically, you don't have an optical chamber, so there's no place where dust can gather. And one more interesting fact, it can be personalized in up to 16 colors. Moving on, we have in our range our addressable aspiration smoke detectors. You can connect those directly through our LSN loop. And you have, they have their use in special applications in warehouses, tall ceilings, or I don't know, storage areas where there are a lot of obstructions, and yeah, you can connect them directly to our panel through the LSN loop, and they have, of course, airflow monitoring. They have this condition monitoring. We also have endpoint detectors when it's the system is connected to our cloud, and even more, we can actually have the room ident feature to identify the exact origin of the fire event. Good. So moving now to alarm notification devices, we start with our all-in-one 4000, which is not that much time on the market, so it's kind of a new product. It's combination of sounder with flash and the possibility to use it as a base for a detector. That's where the all-in-one name comes from. So it's a single point solution to have both the detection and the signaling with both audio and visual. So it's compatible with all our detectors. It complies with EN5423 for the flash part and EN543 for the sounder part. It needs no additional external power, and it has a really low power consumption. On one of our loops, you can install up to 125 devices, which is really a limitation based on the total addresses available on the loop, because we need 2 addresses for each device. So you have a maximum 250. So it's not necessarily a current limitation, it's more that an address limitation that we have per loop. So it's a really wonderful product from this point of view, and yeah, it meets all the requirements we see in the market at this point. And of course, we have our traditional sounders, bass sounders, and horn sounders that you can install in LSN loops, which can also have the function of uninterruptible alarm. Basically, you can install a battery inside, and even if you remove completely the sounder from the loop, you can still have it running for at least 30 minutes. Good. So let's see the extra features and extra products that you can enhance your system with. First of all, let's talk a bit about the AIoT, the video-based fire detection system that we have in the market. It's a wonderful product in the sense that it's one of the fastest way to detect a fire up to this date. It only needs few seconds to detect the fire and few more seconds to confirm it. And it detects both fire and smoke. It's very important, directly at the source, and with the possibility to have a root analysis for the cause through the video images that, of course, you can record if you want. It's, well, I'll not get in too much detail here. I just wanted to let you know that there are dedicated webinars for this product that you can attend, of course, for free. Just check out the calendar for webinars, and please feel free to register. It's a product that's suitable for places with a very high fire load, like paper industry, wood industry, and so on, and or difficult environments due to dust or humidity, or yeah, why not? Low visibility. So it can be installed like a camera in an outdoor casing, and it can even be used in outdoor sheltered areas. So, okay, not in not in let's say open areas outdoors, but in like sheltered ones that are missing, for example, a few walls on few sides, and we want to monitor for smoke and fire in those areas. But the next topic I want to go through, it's the integration with our voice evacuation systems. So of course, probably you know, Bosch can offer a full range of voice evacuation systems in, let's say, more than one product range. And most of those are capable of integrating directly with our fire alarm systems via one IP patch. So one cable, no matter how many zones you need, how many messages you need for your system, you're still going to have just one cable connection between your voice evacuation system and the fire alarm system. This is known as Smart Safety Link. And of course, it's even more interesting if you have an extension of the system, then you're still not going to need any more cabling or any more works. You just need to add in programming your extra zones, and that's it. Good. So please keep it in mind. It's a very nice feature for systems. It's also easy with the new controllers that we launched in 2020 to do this, because every controller comes with a 4-port Ethernet switch. So basically enough ports to handle the networking, but also various integrations that you need, including the Smart Safety Link. Let's talk a bit about also the services that we can offer. And first of all, one of my favorite subjects, it's Smart Safety Designer. It's our free tool for designing the fire alarm systems. Okay, I may be subjective because I'm into application design, but this it's a wonder product, I would say. It installs very quickly. It's a free tool. It constantly checks your system for all the limits possible, so it makes sure your system will be functional, and it will generate all the reports that you need, starting with a bill of materials, standard text, drawings, and so on. So it's really nice from this point of view, but now we are also working on the data input side on this software. So already you can import bill of materials and auto-generate Bosch fire alarm systems out of it. We are working now on the AutoCAD plugin that will allow you to directly import any type of system diagram or floor maps directly into this application and generate all your materials out of it. So it's really nice. Please give it a try if you didn't already. Like I said, it's a free tool. You only need to register with your details, and then you can use it in your day-to-day life. And finally, we'll talk a bit about the remote services. This is our, let's say, offer for cloud services. You can connect your system via let's say, special router with a secure connection to our cloud, and you can benefit for a lot of services. It's yeah, of course, you can connect from the distance to your system with the programming software, with the for operation purposes. You can, of course, receive alerts via email. You can interact. You can receive push notifications, and finally, and most important, um, all this condition monitoring is enabled via these cloud services. The data are collected from your system, and you can have, let's say, a very easy way to do the maintenance of your system by checking up upfront what you need when you go to maintain the system. You can, of course, have these AI algorithms that will predict the functionality, and yeah, you basically need no special IT knowledge for that. It's a very fast installation and very intuitive user interface, and of course, it's it's a plug and play product. You just connect it to the internet, connect it to the fire panel, and set it up in less than 30 minutes. So this is, like I said, our, let's say, one of the most top technological products that would really enhance your business or your system. And just as an overview here, you can see what's accessible through our cloud services. Of course, you can see the information. This is basically a chart of this condition monitoring data that goes into the cloud. You can see which type of detectors do you have, where it's placed, what it's the logical address. You can see the temperature at the level of the detector. You can see the status, if it's clear or had any troubles. You can see the value from the chemical sensor, see if it's available. For all detectors, you can see this electromagnetic interference value that can lead you to a possible cause of false alarms. You can see, of course, if it's in revision or not. Serial number, the pollution, let's say the pollution grade with two thresholds for warning and that the detector has to be maintained. And just as a side note here, our detectors are also cleanable. You have even a special plug for cleaning that with compressed air, so it really prolongs the life of the detector. So this is just a, let's say, more or less a teaser for you. If you are not convinced yet about the benefits of the system, I will also go through some of references cases. Not too many, I just have 4 for you. And if, yeah, I try not to gather here, let's say, the biggest projects, or let's say the nicest references, but applications that really had something special. And one of them is the Mercedes-Benz factory in Russia, which is just outside Moscow. And it's a really nice showcase of Industry 4.0, a really modern, let's say, facility. Here, the challenge was the timeline. It was a very it was a very short time to basically accommodate the need of this installation. And yeah, it was also quite a nice project, with some fire alarm panels, 2,500 point detectors, almost 250 aspirating systems, and of course integration with a voice evacuation system. So yeah, it's quite a modern, let's say, showcase of technologies, and yeah, the safety was provided by Bosch. Another one is from Robi Telecom, from Robi Axiata, the second largest mobile network in Bangladesh. And the challenge was here to have a multi-site system that it's, let's say, centralized. So basically we had more than 40 sites, which were offices, warehouses, and so on, technical sites. All of them were integrated in BIS, in our building integration system software, and of course together operated in the same platform. So this is not, let's say, such a huge project, but the challenge was that it has so many sites. Moving on, Casa Sollievo in Italy. It's yeah, very dear project to us, because it's of course it was quite a nice project as a size, a 6-story building with more than 6,000 square meters. We provided here all the system security and safety integrated in the same platform. So the integration platform was provided by our technology partner in Italy, Alessis, which integrated everything from Bosch, the fire alarm system, the voice evacuation, video system intrusion, and access control in this platform. Just as a side note, the Fire MPA system were a donation from Bosch, since it's pediatric palliative institution in Italy. And the last one that I'm going to mention, it's an airport in Philippines, Mactan Cebu, which is here the challenge was to replace and expand the system while the airport was running. So there was not possible to close this location. It's quite a big airport with 12 million passengers annually. So we had to do everything here while the system is running. So all the extensions, all the new additions, everything had to be done while it was working. So I hope this will give you some examples of that we can tackle basically almost any type of project. Of course, if you need references on any other type of projects, feel free to contact us. And yeah, that's about it from my side. Like I said, it was more like an introduction to our portfolio. But if there are any questions, of course, we can discuss them. I see there are some of them in the chat already, and I will address them. But if we don't have the time, or if you have questions later, feel free to contact us anytime, of course. So let's see to the question. Must the loop be run from the panel and return to the panel? Can the loop be run without returning to the panel? So basically, you have the option of connecting also a stub on the loop module, of course. But you have to take into consideration the regulations about stubs. The loop itself, it's a redundant structure, so you don't have the same limits that you have on a stub. You can even mix it, so you can have T branches in the loop and leave with the line from the loop. And but again, you have to take into the consideration the limit, at least in EMEA region. In Europe, it's a limit of 30 detectors or 15 call points that you can install on the LSN loop. Sorry, not on the LSN loop, or any line. It doesn't matter if it starts from an LSN module or loop module, or it's just a conventional interface. I hope this answered. Next question is, what's the length of loop with, say, 2.4 millimeter cable? Well, or 2.5, I see there's a correction later. That's a good question. It's a wonderful use case for our safety system designer. In our safety system designer, you can select the cable size for each loop, and it will automatically calculate the length depending on your load. There's, well, the maximum can be 3,000 meters, but of course, as soon as you, let's say, increase the current consumption on the loop, the length will drop due to the voltage drop on the loop. So basically, that's one of the purposes of the safety system designer. It will, in real time, it will calculate the length of each loop for you, and you can make sure that there are, let's say, no mistakes in your design. So you can select the size of the cable from typical sizes, starting with, I think, 0.6, and go all the way up to 2.5, but you can even select a custom cable and specify the parameters of the cable. So we are not that, let's say, pretentious regarding to the cabling, and maybe it's worth mentioning that we don't really need the shield on the loop cable. I hope this was a good answer for you. Are there methane gas detectors in the portfolio on the LSN loop. It would be useful in the rooms of thermal power plants to use conventional methane gas detectors. Yeah, unfortunately, the answer here is no, because mainly because gas detector methane especially are not regulated by EN54. So basically would mean to certify at least with EN 5417 and 13 some equipments that are not for fire. And this is why normally methane gas are used in a conventional manner, connected via interfaces. But we have, of course, all the interfaces necessary to connect any type of gas detector to our loop. What type of fire alarm cable must be used? A pair or two pair? Pair or two pair, I guess, with drain. So basically, each of our loop interfaces have also auxiliary 24 volts outputs. So you can run one pair if you're just interested in the data, or you can run two pairs if you also need to run in the field 24 volts for auxiliary power for different type of interfaces. So you can you have this choice, and the cable, like I said, it doesn't need to be shielded, and it can be either one or two pairs. Okay, I'm trying to see if there are any questions that I didn't answer. Is Bosch coming with a RESTful API to integrate with other management systems? Well, depending on what you need exactly, you can of course contact us and discuss this in detail. But we do have at this moment a collection, an SDK, which is a collection of libraries that you can use for integrate basically any type of management or alarm server or management system. And this is the way it's everybody's doing this. So basically we offer an out-of-the-box integration via OPC protocol. We also offer this SDK for any other type of protocol or integration that you need. It can be developed on, but of course it's not an out-of-the-box, let's say, integration. It needs a software development behind. I hope this at least answer partially, but of course, if you want to get into details or I didn't understand the question correctly, please feel free to contact me and we can discuss this in greater detail. Okay.
I can see another question about Titanus.
Okay, yeah. So can the, okay,
Mm-hmm.
right, it was the last one, I didn't see it. Can the Titanus TP2 aspiration detector equipped with only one detector, the detection model, be used instead of TP1? Unfortunately not, as far as I know, because it's going to need the second detector. So, and also, yeah, the casing, it's made for, let's say, the two detector variant. We can, if you have a specific project, we can discuss on it and we can see if we can optimize somehow the design for the aspiration. Again, maybe help with that. Welcome. And yeah, no more questions, I see.
I cannot see more, at least at the comment chat field.
So, of course, if there are any questions later, please feel free to contact us. You have my contact details here, and yeah, we can also get in touch afterwards. So, yeah, if there are no more questions.
I cannot see more.
Nope.
Last chance. Okay, so thank you very much for all questions and thank you for your presentation. And within a couple of days, we will share the webinar recording with you together with the presentation. We appreciate your attention and thank you for attending. Thank you once again and goodbye.
Thank you also. Have a great day.